Good afternoon, shipmates, and welcome to the Cadet Wardroom. Thank you for joining us today. I can't express how happy I am that we're able to have this kind of a ceremony today to recognize members of the hockey team and their trainer for their actions over this past weekend on their return trip from Kings Point. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce the 40th Superintendent of the Coast Guard Academy, Rear Admiral Sandra Stokes.
Good afternoon, cadets and faculty and staff and visitors. I want to welcome Pete and Carol Rossi, the grandparents of Cadet Rossi, Robert and Irene Mead, the parents of Cadet Mead, and Jennifer Fender, the wife of HS2 Fender. And we are here today to recognize Cadets Rossi, Lesniak, Mead, and HS2 Fender. We're going to recognize these cadets today for demonstrating what it means to really live what we call duty demands courage. They all exercised that courage last Sunday morning after midnight when they intervened to attend to a bus driver who was not responding. And that's really what duty demands courage means, is to intervene. There are no bystanders, and there were no bystanders on that bus last Sunday morning. And we want to recognize that action, those interventions today. We're recognizing 4 members of that team, but I've been hearing stories for the past week, little snippets of what was happening on that bus with people who weren't mentioned today with the citations. So that was a team effort, an all-hands-on-deck effort, and everybody on that bus deserves recognition. And they represent many of you in the Corps. This is what it means to develop leaders of character. Whether we win, whether we lose in our competitions athletically, whether we go through hard times or easy times here with our academics or our other endeavors, we're all building into those leaders of character, and there are times when that's evident. On that bus is one time. We just had a community services dinner, recognition dinner on Monday. Lots of great stories from the community and the cadets on the power of the intervention in the community. And we also have a middle school that we served, John S. Martinez Magnet School in New Haven. A week or two ago, 27 cadets went down and led that school for a day. And we have cadets going out to Stonington Lodge to improve that. That's just a few of the things that we leaders of character are doing, and we're proud to recognize these leaders on stage today.
Attention to awards. Summary of citations to accompany 4 awards of the Coast Guard Commendation Medal. Cadet Second Class Michael Rossi Jr., Alexander M. Mead, and Benjamin A. Lesniak, and Health Services Technician Second Class Travis E. Fender, United States Coast Guard, are cited for outstanding achievement for their actions in the early morning hours of February 9, 2014, while aboard a charter bus returning 18 members of the U.S. Coast Guard Academy ice hockey team from a game at the Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point, New York. While traveling at highway speeds on a congested portion of Interstate 95 near New Haven, Connecticut, the bus driver was rendered unconscious by an acute medical emergency, with his hands locked on the steering wheel and his foot pinned to the accelerator. Immediately recognizing the driver's distress, Cadet Rossi approached the driver to render aid, wrest control of the steering wheel, and summon assistance from fellow cadets and the team trainer. Cadet Rossi carefully steered the bus as Cadet Mead, Cadet Lesniak, and Petty Officer Fender pried the driver's hands away from the wheel, unfastened his seatbelt, and extracted him from the driver's console. As the unconscious driver was removed from his seat, Cadet Lesniak climbed over the back of the seat to take control of the 20-ton bus, which was accelerating to speeds approaching 80 miles per hour. Realizing that the unconscious driver's foot was still pinned to the accelerator, the cadets and corpsmen devised a plan of action whereby Cadet Rossi crawled beneath the console to relieve pressure from the accelerator. As Cadet Lesniak safely brought the bus to a stop on the side of the road, Petty Officer Fender led efforts to resuscitate and stabilize the driver, while Cadet Mead summoned emergency medical personnel to transport the acutely ill driver to the nearest hospital emergency room. Cadets Rossi's, Mead's, and Lesniak's, and Petty Officer Fender's swift action, leadership, and poise under extreme pressure undoubtedly averted a major catastrophe for the bus driver their fellow passengers, and unsuspecting motorists on the heavily trafficked interstate highway. Their dedication, judgment, and devotion to duty are most heartily commended and are in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard. Signed for the Commandant, Sandra L. Stows, Rear Admiral, Superintendent. At ease, all.